Antonio Meucci is a world-famous Italian inventor of the telephone. Many people think that Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone, but Meucci was the one who actually invented the telephone. From a young age, he was already interested in electrical devices to then investigate. He even managed to cure diseases with electric shock. As an inventor of the telephone, he certainly contributed a lot to the world of telecommunications in the world. Until now, his invention continues to be developed by experts who are certainly very helpful in everyday life. Antonio Meucci was born in San Frediano, Firenze in 1808. He graduated from the Firenze Academy of Arts, then worked at the Teatro della Pergola until 1835. After that, he was offered a job at the Teatro Taken in Havana, Cuba, and immigrated there with his wife. From a young age, Antonio Meucci enjoyed investigating things and inventing new items without giving up. He developed a way to use electric shocks to cure diseases and became famous for it. In 1850, Meucci moved to Staten Island, New York. At that time he fell into poverty, but still continued to perfect the device he invented, the telephone. Being poor, his wife sold some of his inventions for only $6 for medical expenses. Shortly after his illness was cured, he returned to making his inventions. Given his poor economic circumstances, he could not afford to pay for the telephone patent. He only paid a provisional patent that was valid for 1 year and had to be renewed the following year. Meucci continued to try to demonstrate the potential of the phone, and took the model and all the information to the Telegraph's vice chairman, Western Union. Every time Meucci wanted to meet with Union, Edward B. Grant always said that he didn't have time. 2 years later, when Meucci asked the company for all the telephone materials back, they said that they had been lost. Later in 1876, Alexander Graham Bell was credited as the inventor of the telephone. Meucci called a lawyer to protest to the United States Patent Office in Washington, but Meucci's efforts were fruitless, and he lost the case. Before long, the rot was revealed, as it turned out that Bell had previously agreed to pay 20% of the commercial profits of his invention for 17 years to Western Union. Because of this, for more than a century and around the world, the name Alexander Graham Bell is known as the inventor of the telephone. Then on June 11, 2002 in the United States Congress, Antonio Meucci was designated as the inventor of the telephone. However, Antonio Meucci could not feel the happiness because he had passed away on October 18, 1889. Much earlier, Alexander Graham Bell made the first telephone in Boston, Massachusetts in 1876, while Antonio Meucci had invented the telephone in 1849. This then confirms that it was Antonio Meucci who invented the telephone first, not Alexander Graham Bell. In addition, many books discuss the crimes committed by Alexander Graham Bell. In one of the books it is stated that Bell was declared not the inventor of the first telephone. Not even a few people accused Bell of stealing the telephone idea from his competitor, Elisha Gray. In the book The Telephone Gambit, Chasing Alexander Graham Bell's Secret, Seth Sulman says that Bell has committed plagiarism by copying ideas from Gray's patent documents. For more than a century, Alexander Graham Bell was known as the inventor of the telephone, even though the real inventor was Antonio Meucci. On June 11, 2002 at the United States Congress, Meucci was designated as the inventor of the telephone. For his services, he received an award organized by the Don Altobello Foundation and chaired by Joseph Saza. The Don Altobello Foundation introduced Meucci as the real inventor of the telephone, which made Italian Americans very proud of him.